Our city's growing by 30 to 40,000 people a year, and growth is good for us, but we've got to make sure that we have the infrastructure to cope with that growth. The cityraillink is New Zealand's largest infrastructure project. It doubles our capacity to bring people in and out of the city by rail, and it makes their journey significantly faster. This will be a line used by all of us as Aucklanders first and foremost, but we are the gateway to New Zealand. It's also a unique opportunity to do something that really makes the station serving the CRL to reflect our identity as Aucklanders, our culture, our history and our landscape. It's a chance really to showcase Auckland as a vibrant and interesting world-class city.
In a true partnership, it was an invitation out to iwi and Tamaki that wanted to be a part of this project. We as Mana Whenua, right from the get-go, everybody was on the same level regarding the idea might look like in the different areas. So Mana Whenua had come together, each tribe coming with their own mana to express their kaitiakitanga individually, but also together, knowing what the kaupapa was, and then to reflect ourselves as Mana Whenua within the project.
It's a unique expression of the cultural narratives for both the city and the people, and that will not be seen anywhere else in the world. The cityraillink project is more a regenerative project for the city, an economic development project as much as a transport project. If you improve the perception of people using the rail system, it will improve the way in which the city grows and the way people perceive the city.
And when we look at the underground realm, they are portals to movement. And if we look at Māori movement across Tamaki, what we've got now is another opportunity to celebrate that movement. So we wanted to make sure that we had a narrative which enabled each of those Mana Whenua groups to buy into this process and into the design opportunities arising from the narrative. But we also wanted to make sure that the reflection of the rangi and papa separation kōrero was of Tamaki. So it was not generic to Aotearoa, but it was the version that applied here.
This idea that the stations, being of the realm of Papatūānuku in the sky, would have a consistent sort of approach to the sort of arrangement of the earth elements, the underground elements, and the experience of that, and your journey between the realm of Papatūānuku and the Ranganui. Biophilic design, our sort of relationship to nature, or that in nature there's no straight lines, there's a kind of much more organic sort of form and material. Through materiality and the way we use materiality is an interesting one, and in the built environment a lot of natural weathered materials beaten by sun, wind and salt through that natural selection process have a sort of natural inherent durability and sort of weatheredness about them. We might see that exist not only in nature but through some of the manifestation of art and culture through carvings, but how we might start to explore that not only through the craft and material of space and the layering of form, but also ultimately in the detail, what we might feel and touch, whether it's on the scale of a cladding on a building or in the handrail that we might hold on to.
We have well-known kōrero and archaeological evidence relating to rongomatane, the atua associated with cultivated foods.
This idea of individually carved hanging rods and elements that may have an individual expression and a sense of kind of human craft, but forming a sort of greater whole. With the idea that this sort of undulating stream links back to the Waihotachu, but also the kaitiaki of this area. And at night, this canopy might transform into a constellation of many stars.
Inland, we head to Karanga-ā-Hape, and then of course Hape brings his own narrative to that particular dimension there, and as we're moving inland we're looking at Tāne Mahuta and the forest realm.
As a central figure within the creation story, Tāne was the son who lay on his back and pushed Ranganui apart from Papatūānuku to allow light into the world.
Hape is a Tainui ancestor who was actually denied passage on the Tainui waka when it came from Hawaii, and so he caught up his kaitiaki, a stingray, and so he journeyed on the stingray to Aotearoa ahead of Tainui waka. And so Karanga-ā-Hape is said to celebrate the welcome, his own relatives who had denied him passage, but he was there to welcome them.
Karanga-ā-Hape, we're exploring the idea of natural timbers. The threshold of Karanga-ā-Hape links to the oblique arching forms of ancient Kāri forest. There's this interesting sort of notion, I guess, not only of Karanga-ā-Hape being the relationship to the organising idea, but very much a connected journey physically to this notion of moving from the realm of Papatūānuku to Ranganui to sky.
At Maungawhau, we of course are beginning to move into the realm of Mataoho, the deity associated with volcanic activity and whose mauri is said to still reside in Te Ipu Mataoho, the bowl or crater of Maungawhau, Mount Eden.
Maungawhau threshold links to the radial, mimicking the natural curved geometry and form of the Maungawhau crater. The part terraces stepping down the Maunga, reflecting the creation and formation of its slopes. And here we celebrate the expression and exploration of carving basalt, and therefore its connection and relationship to site.
The unique nature of this project is taking basic engineering design that is all about allocating space for an alignment and identifying a general principle of a location for a station, but then embracing the narratives that we've generated through the Mana Whenua forum into the cultural expression of those narratives and the public art integration into the architecture, so that it's actually all four components coming together uniquely as an expression of the design outcome.
To be part of the CRL project, from its inception to its completion. We've come together to engage with the CRL team, and once we sort of got a clear picture and the CRL team understood our kaitiaki obligations, then the conversation, the focus then shift to the design narratives. It's a war cry for a point in time where we can share those deeper stories that you don't get anywhere else in the country, let alone the world.